what's going on, guys? Session workout 114. Our workout is 2 rounds, 40 GHD sit-ups, 30 kipping handstand push-ups, and then 20 back squats, 205 for the guys, 145 for the ladies. Nate and Jonathan demoed this workout. Jonathan's here breaking down his performance on it, and let's hear their strategies.
So thinking about it, I feel like I'm pretty good at GHDs. It's probably going to be my stronger movement of the three. But given it's a lot of core and the handstand push-ups and back squats utilize the core a lot, I'm probably going to break them up. I'm thinking 15, 15, 10, or might just go 20 and 20. I don't think I'm going to go unbroken on them. Handstand push-ups, I'm thinking 6 sets of 5. That's what I'm aiming for. Sounds pretty good. And then with the back squats, probably 4 sets of 5. So just gonna grind through it. When I break short, break smart, and just get it done. Beat Jonathan.
Strategy for today's workout. This workout is a back squat workout for me. That's a pretty high percentage for me to be cycling because my 1 rep isn't that high. So the entire workout's going to be geared around managing everything up until the back squats and then kind of just being strategic with sets on back squats. So I will be breaking back squats for sure. I'm going to aim for sets of 5 ideally, and then I'll rack in between. In terms of everything else, being that I'm kind of managing everything, I would normally maybe go out hotter on the GHD than normal, but I think today we're going to go sets of 10. Handstand push-up, we're going to see how it goes. If I can start out with sets of 8, that would be great. Knowing that sets of 6 are probably going to happen in the second round. So I think for me, it's more about managing for back squats in general, but then also managing for the second round of back squats, because that's going to be kind of where I need to avoid racking a lot. So it's going to be just prepping for that.
You guys both wear your knee sleeves differently. Did you know that?
Yeah.
All right, so we purposely talked about going 3 sets of 10 on this. Mm-hmm. And Nate had said...
Nate was going to go 2 sets of 20.
2 sets of 20.
Yeah.
Okay. And we had already chatted a lot about this workout. Mm-hmm. You ended up going 3 sets of 20. And specifically, we were doing that...
4 sets of 10.
4 sets of 10.
On GHDs.
Yeah. And you were specifically doing that because we wanted to save your midline for those back squats, because that's going to be kind of your limitation in this workout.
Yeah. 205 is probably like 68 to 70%, so it's just higher for me to cycle.
Right.
So I had to play it smart for that. I would have normally probably tried to go out 30-10 or maybe 20-20, but I was like...
What's interesting right here is you guys were both at 20 at the same time, and you guys both started at the same time.
Yeah.
So big sets do not always win workouts, guys.
Yeah.
Sorry, what were you saying?
No, I mean, I think I just had to save the midline for back squats.
Yeah,
and then also, I knew where I could catch him was on handstand push-ups.
Yeah.
So I had to be able to rip off at least a big set at the very beginning to try to create a buffer for the squats, which I think for the two of us was, I think we ended up going about the same pace on them.
On the back squats?
On the back squats.
Yeah, when I was talking to Nate, he said that he was trying to match you on the back squats. So, which I'm not. I think he probably didn't need to do that. I mean, obviously his handstand push-ups are his limiter. Did you guys switch side, like where you were doing your squats? Like you did your squats closer to the wall?
I did my squats closer. No, I did my squats in the further. Yeah.
Oh, well, slightly unfair, but whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he probably could have pushed the squats a little bit more and then just kind of like managed through the GHDs. One thing he actually told me, and this is actually would be a fun thing for like a training stimulus purpose, is he said his hips went on the handstand push-ups. So maybe it's some sort of, were you feeling your hips at all on the handstand push-ups? No. Yeah, so that would be like kind of like a fun training stimulus to work on for him, is like some sort of GHD squat handstand push-up combo where you're like training the hips to be more explosive and enduring in that specific movement.
Yeah.
So also, Jonathan used to be a ballroom dancer, which you have to be Can you say petite for that?
Yeah.
Yeah. You have to
Yeah.
be.
I have to be a certain body type.
Yeah. You have to be tiny for it. So our whole, like, since we've started, which has been about a year now,
About a year
right?
now,
Yeah. We've just been trying to essentially hypertrophy work with him, or do hypertrophy work with him. You put on what, 20 pounds now?
Yeah.
Fuck yeah. So, smashed the handstand push-ups, clearly. Do you think you could have worn your belt and just like loosened and tightened it all? Or
I thought about it.
Yeah.
I thought about it, but then I don't know how the GHGs would have felt with it on.
With it on?
Yeah.
Okay. That might be something I don't
Which,
wear.
I mean, maybe I just need to try it next time.
Yeah, yeah. Well, you still need to work on your squat depth a little
Yeah.
bit too.
Yeah.
With hypertrophy work comes tension, so well, that's getting better as you're starting to go. Yeah, solid. Yeah, that might be something to just look at some regional videos and see. I don't wear a belt often, or at all, so I'm not like super familiar with what it feels like on a GHD. But you could probably watch some like regional videos
Yeah.
or sanctionals and see if how people are doing. Are they taking it off before they?
I
get
think
it or
thinking
after?
back on it, it probably would have felt fine. Just depends
Yeah.
on where it sat.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah, you're moving those pretty well. Yeah, you might have been able to push those a little bit more, honestly.
Yeah, I like looking back on it. I think the second round, after feeling that, I was like, I started off with a set of 6,
Yeah.
and then it didn't at that point. I think it didn't make sense to go any bigger than 6, so I think I did 6, 5, 5, 4. So it was still 4 sets.
Yeah.
But
Oh man, Nate needs to work on his ankle mobility so bad. Sorry, Nate. Keep giving you shit to do. Cause you can see your bottom position has gotten a lot more comfortable.
Mm-hmm.
So you're able to explode out of that. And I think a lot of that is just like a lot of the hypertrophy work we've been doing.
Yeah.
So you're more comfortable
Yeah,
in
yeah,
the
yeah.
bottom position now. You just got to get used to knowing how low you need to go. Like if you see Nate, he's not comfortable in his bottom position.
Right.
And he's not able to. I mean, I don't know whether that's like just a mechanics thing or if it genuinely is his ankles are tight. He's not able to push those knees forward super far, so he's not going to be able to sit his hips between his heels and bounce out of the bottom of that squat super well.
Got it.
What'd you guys do for a warm up for this workout?
God, I was here so early. I built up the back squats to 205.
Mm-hmm.
That was one. Really tried to stretch out the midline, and then a lot of like shoulder mobility stuff. And then the intervals that I was doing were 6 GHDs, 4 handstand push-ups, 2 back squats.
And how many of those did you do?
3?
Did you do any like aerobic work beforehand or
No.
no? That might have been something you wanted to do because it honestly looks like even with those back squats, it looked like you on your back half of the back squats you got faster, and then on this set of the GHDs it looks like you're already moving faster
Yeah.
on the GHDs.
I think the sets in the second round of GHDs didn't go like I thought they were going to go. I think I did 10. It was a weird number. I think I did 10, 8, 7, 8, 7.
On these?
Yeah, on this one.
Okay.
I didn't go 10, 10,
Yeah.
10 all the way through. I know I did. I remember distinctly doing 17 and then doing 10, 7, 8. And then I just did like 8, 7, I think is what I ended up doing.
10, 7, 8, 8, 7.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I ended up one extra set of GHDs.
Do you think you could have done sets of 10? Or were you like starting to ride a red line when you got into the
I wasn't
into
riding a
pace?
red line. I think I'm just not used to doing that many GHGs at a speed yet. And I definitely was cycling faster in the second round than I did the first round.
Yeah.
The first round, I think I consciously took it slower.
Okay.
And this time I was like, I think knowing I was in the lead, I was like, let's build on it. So I went faster for
Fucking bury him.
I went faster for sure. I for sure went faster.
Yeah.
And I don't know if my midline was like ready for that speed for the first 10. Because after the first 10, I remember thinking,
Okay.
I don't know how much more sustainable this is going to be.
Gotcha. So we can do speed sets then.
Yeah.
To train. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think I just went faster. The first set definitely took longer.
Okay. And that could have been a strategy thing as well too, because you didn't know exactly how that bar was going to feel in the
Yeah.
second set for
Yep.
sure.
And so I think we've been working on me coming out a little bit stronger in general because I have a tendency to overpace at the very beginning. This workout, I think it helped because once I felt how the back squats felt in the first round, I think I was able to like pick up the speed, even if that meant breaking more
Yeah.
in GHDs and in handstand push-ups because
Yeah.
my sets were smaller for sure on the handstand push-ups, still 4 sets,
Yep.
but I think the rep cycle speed was faster.
The rep cycle speed was definitely faster. I missed where you finished that first round in. Did you?
I was like 5-ish.
Okay, so the second round did take.
It did take me longer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Your rep speed is just faster. But if you could do something like, if we could get you used to feeling that speed of the reps and get you doing that on the first round, now all of a sudden your first round is,
For something. Yeah.
and you cut off like 30 seconds to 60 seconds
Yeah.
overall on the workout, if
Yeah.
that makes sense.
Yeah.
And especially on a workout like this where it is like just 2 rounds and you have like basically you have half the workout done. Like,
Yeah.
you can kind of push that first round. And when you get back to that movement, pretty much all the time in CrossFit, when you come back to a movement after doing something else, you flushed that lactate out. So there's a buffer of like speed of contraction that you can keep a little bit higher. So like maybe that's, your first 8 reps you were able to keep higher.
Yep.
Maybe once we train that speed, now it's maybe your first 20 reps that you can keep a little bit faster.
Yeah, that makes sense.
When you come back on that next round. So
That makes sense.
that's just like something for the future is like, hey, I can push through this first round, right? And then I'm going to have a buffer on that second round just because I've went and done something else.
That makes sense.
And part of it too is just, knowing how that back squat feels now and knowing that you're comfortable with that. I think for you is a big confidence thing, just getting under that bar.
Yeah, I surprised myself with how the bar felt.
I would almost like try and keep the belt over by the handstand push-ups next time, so that way when you're walking back to the bar,
makes
you
sense.
can put it on. Sorry.
No, that makes sense.
I don't know. I'm pointing at the screen. I don't know if you guys can see me fucking pointing at the screen, so sorry. Yeah,
So I went for 6 here.
Yeah, that was. I think that was a good move. You're closing out the workout, so. I want to see Nate's hips here. Yeah, he just needs to get used to firing those things a little bit more. That's what he was doing. We did a workout a couple weeks ago with handstand push-ups in it too, and that's kind of what was happening to him was his
Hips were long.
yeah, it just slowed way down. Yeah, you gotta be careful on those first.
The first
reps.
one.
Yeah. You start to get pushed down a little bit better as it goes, and that's kind of this set. Yeah, so like that's where you're wanting the squat.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
That will get you 0 no reps in a competition. Yeah, Nate. Man, he says it's his hips, but that honestly looks like it's part of his shoulders too, like his upper back. Just that's something that I told him he needs to work on. Is his upper back is getting that stronger as well. He's been doing a lot of holds against the wall to try and improve that. Do you think you could have just stood there with the bar on your back and just squatted?
I thought about it. What caught me off guard was, and maybe I need to get better about just like finding a more stable position, but holding the barbell
Yeah.
after the handstand push-ups, it shocked me how torched my shoulders were.
Yeah.
And so I think part of the depth issue also was I think in an attempt to relax my arms, I ended up hinging more over to keep the bar on me.
Yep, that makes sense.
Rather than keeping tension and holding it back here.
Rather than being able to keep that upper back tight, it was fatigued, so it was like
I ended up
pushing
bending
Yeah,
over
okay.
to keep the bar up, and that the shoulders is what caught me off guard.
Oh, okay.
Holding the barbell. So yes, in theory, I think next time I think I probably would, if I do this again, I would have probably just stood there and done 10 before racking it to like shake it out.
Okay.
But now knowing what that'll do to my shoulders.
Yeah.
But, if we redo this workout again, I'm probably going to try to push bigger handstand push-up sets.
Okay.
So I don't know if it's going to do the same
It'll
thing.
probably do the same thing, and especially like if we were to train this, we'd want to go through a cycle of like getting your speed on your GHDs, continuing to make sure that your depth is good.
Yeah.
And then probably like, we've been doing a lot of density sets on your handstand push-ups.
Yes.
So we'll probably just want to make sure that they're, That was a no rep, Nate. We'll probably want to make sure that we're like mixing and matching squatting and handstand push-ups.
That makes sense.
If we were to train specifically for this workout, so like if this were a competition workout,
that makes sense.
We would do a bunch of intervals like. So like those would be like the back end things, like making sure your GHD speed's good, making sure your squat depth is good, and we probably throw some sort of session in there of handstand push-ups and squatting combo. So that'd be like your first day, and then your second day would just be like straight up intensity intervals of this workout.
That makes sense.
If this were like a comp workout that we were gonna try and like really prep for.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But yeah, I mean, I was pretty happy with your performance on it. You stuck to your game plan really well. I think obviously just there are some things that surprised you, but you adjusted really well to it, which is like, it's literally what we want in a workout, you know?
Yeah. I was able to push up bigger sets than I thought.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, I don't normally. I think I'm glad I opened up with a set of 10 because had I not, I would have stuck with 6s.
Yeah.
And my time would have been way slower.
Yeah.
Because if I were to say, but like the first, I was like, first 6 felt really good, so I just stayed on the wall. And I was like, let's just rip off another 4. I was tempted to go for 15, but I was like, let's be smart. Let's not go for 15.
Yeah.
So when I hit 10, I was like, okay, I think this is somewhat sustainable.
Yeah.
Let's attempt another set of 10, knowing that if I hit 8, still better than what we were planning.
Right.
And I was able to do 10, so that helped the first set a lot.
Yeah.
Just opening up big within reason.
Yeah.
Like it wasn't it wasn't a set of 15.
Yeah.
Because then this workout would have felt very different.
You would have redlined
very quickly.
You would have redlined in 55 reps.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
Nobody came and cheered Nate on.
Just me.
I always hate that. Yep. There we go.
Yeah, I don't know if anyone was there.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it was just me, him, and...
I would just feel... This has never been me, but I would feel so angry if I were the last athlete on the floor getting cheered on by everybody else that finished. And the announcers always make a big deal about it, like, oh,
he's almost done.
You'll never see this in any other sport. It's because somebody would murder somebody in another sport.
Yeah, you're like, I actually want to die right now.
As you're just too tired to actually kill somebody.
As you're talking to me.
So yeah, I think kind of like what we chatted about with those intervals is probably what we would do if we were prepping for a comp for this workout. But I mean, we can probably do some stuff like throw in some speed GHDs. That would be good. Yeah, obviously, we're going to continue to work on your squat depths. Sometimes it's hard to get athletes to truly do that until they get like no rep at a competition and they're like, this is like what they're talking about.
Well, and I remember how those first reps felt.
Yeah.
So now knowing visually where that is, I'm like, okay, well, it can't feel like that.
Yeah. So you might just need to start filming your squats more often. I know you do a lot of filming for your Oli lifts, but you might and film it from that angle that Christian had the camera at too, so that you can see like, oh, this is my depth, this is my depth. And then you can correlate that feeling to that.
That makes sense.
Yeah. Nate, I think you just need to work on your... you have an interesting limitation on this workout. So I think ankle mobility for Nate, and then talking to him, working on some of that just like hip explosion and like almost like hip flexor endurance would be like a cool project to work on him with. So... But yeah, good luck, guys. Don't be afraid to come out a little bit hot on this one, knowing that you guys kind of had that buffer that we talked about. And yeah, crush it.